Well, I was going to ask first, has anybody had a bad boss? Oh, a little bit. How about ever been bullied? How ever dealt with hostility in the workplace, right? Now, wouldn't it be great if we all had dogs that looked like this instead of this? Because that's what happens when we're confronted with the behavior of a bad boss. It upsets us, it derails us, it destroys us at times. It can actually take up to as much as 22 months, like losing a loved one, to recover from the results of a bad boss. So are we safe or not? That's really the question. Because when we don't feel safe, we don't trust. We don't have the confidence to move forward in a way that we can be productive, accurate, and fulfilling. So what do? Dial up for success, or are we dialing down for failure? And what gets in the way of sabotaging that? So I want to share with you a story. I was working with a team. They were running for safety. They had a new supervisor that was the poster child of micromanagement. Arrogance, belittling, demeaning behavior, calling people out publicly. They felt trapped. They felt hijacked. They didn't know where to turn. And so then they'd go out into the workforce and do their jobs and get injured. I had all 12 of a team in my disability mediation within 1 year because they were physiologically reacting to the negativity that they would experience through bad bossing. I guess I'm getting too close now, right? And the thing is that we do physiologically react. And how we physiologically react is not just in our body, but in our brain. And when our brains are activated, we now are imbalanced, hormonally, neurologically, and we cannot think and act. And so we need to tap into. Too many times, people are hired for what they know. And that's what was true for the supervisor who was a bottleneck for his employees. But he sucked at how he dealt with people, treating them badly, making them feel unsafe. And so what can we do to develop some protection from this emotional storm? Well, that's where we need to take a look at what kinds of skills do we need to equip our people with. And so I'm going to do a twist on Maslow's hierarchy of needs. We've always heard about self-actualization at the top, right? Well, what is that really? And frankly, if we get stuck in the middle at safety, we'll never get there. So it's time to disrupt this notion and recoin it self-development. Because now we can work down, not just try to work up, and fulfilling our skills all the way around. Because when we go there, now we have a foundation of trust. Wouldn't you agree? Trust is the bedrock of all relationships. And when that's lacking, we can't do stuff like that. We don't feel that people are out there to cover our back and be there to support us, to help us out in a time of need. And when we don't, we feel isolated and we're less productive. Because psychological safety is the linchpin of high-performing teams, but it's also the downfall, the lack of it, for physiological safety. So we need to come from a place of integrity. So you, as human resource people, professionals, we need to take a look at what's going on in our employee population. Is there complaining? Is there absenteeism? Are they leaving good jobs? It's time to engage them. Gallup showed in 2008 that over 60% of our people are disengaged. We need to re-engage them. And building on some of the things we've already heard tonight, then it's time to take a look at investing in psychological safety. We've done a heck of a job on physical safety, would you agree? Yeah. But now it's time to reinvest in psychological safety. Bring it up. Help people develop their emotional intelligence so they know how to weather the storms of bad behavior. And quite frankly, millennials are not going to tolerate this kind of bad behavior, and that's partly what drives them to leave good organizations. So my challenge to you, take a look. What is your organization doing that actually disrupts psychological safety? Is there bad behavior out there that's not being called upon? What can you do differently to develop the skills? So as Jennifer Garner would say, what's in your wallet? I'd say what's not. What's your missing link in your workplace safety program? Thank you.